So you cool after last night?
Yep, I'm great after last night.
I think Chaotic left. I heard he left.
Oh, for real?
How you feel about that, for real?
I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, he got to use a better choice of words. His vocabulary is definitely offensive. You feel?
No, I feel you on that.
I ain't gonna lie, I was playing at first.
Yeah.
When I did that, I was like, nah.
No, I knew it was gonna be a joke,
yeah,
right?
I was playing, but then he
Got really serious. He got in his feelings.
Yeah. I don't know why. Every time me and Bayotte get into it, Buddy like to throw rocks and stones and stuff, and then go hide his hand and go play the victim and act like he ain't did nothing. This is why he doing me like this. This is why he be acting like this. I love bro. Bud don't got no love for me, bro. Like, I really know I done seen stuff where he ain't got no love for me. Like, I ain't want him to go home or nothing like that, but I just wanted him to understand, like, I know you lying. I know what's going on, and I'm not gonna let it slide. Bro, get my money, give me what I work for, and then we good.
I hope it don't escalate, and I hope it don't go back. What was that?
You look good, bro.
Oh, thank you. You look nice, too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cheers. I don't know what to say.
Beck, why your baby daddy calling you this late?
He want to talk about the kid.
Yeah.
The kids.
He want to talk about the kids. The kids are asleep.
Or more kids.
It's never gonna happen.
Is you sure, naive?
You should be naive.
Nah, mother. Bitch.
Scrappy is high-key trying to get back with me at this point. He's sending flowers to my house every day. He wants to do family things, and I am absolutely not an Erica Dixon. You can spin a block with that one, and she is gonna be there for you and your new baby, and probably be best friends with the other baby mama too. But it ain't gonna be me.
Scott, why you reach out to her all day?
Because that's what you do.
I told her I was going through something last night. I said, yo,
And I said, I'm trying to understand what's happening.
my mother is dying.
You being hella dramatic.
I'm really just quiet, period. I ain't even got the strength to do this.
You done talk about me to everybody around this motherfucker.
You done talk about me. You done talk about me. You done told you that. I done held you down. And I down. But you know what? You know what?
Go away.
You know what? You
Saw that. I ain't going nowhere, and that's why you mad. That's why you really mad.
I'm not mad at you, Bam. I really love you.
Yeah, okay.
In the peaceful woods, the day began like any other. Birds chirped as the soft wind rustled through the trees. The sun filtered through the canopy, casting dappled light on the forest floor. But for Scrappy, today felt different. His heart beat faster as he stood at the edge of the clearing, watching Bambi from afar. He had been holding on to this moment for weeks, maybe even months. But today, he was ready. But for Scrappy, today was different. His heart pounded in his chest, his mind swirling with anticipation and fear. He had always admired Bambi from a distance, watching her grow from a curious fawn into a graceful and kind-hearted doe. There was a quiet elegance about her, a strength that drew others in. Scrappy had never been the most confident animal in the forest. He had a roughness to him, a wildness that others sometimes found intimidating. But with Bambi, he felt at ease. She was the one who understood him, the one who made him believe that there could be more to his life than solitude. For weeks, Scrappy had wrestled with his feelings. He knew deep down that he had to tell her how he felt, even if it meant risking their friendship. But the thought of rejection terrified him. The forest was full of beauty and life, but it could also be cruel. He had seen love bloom between others, and he had watched as some hearts were broken. What if his heart was destined for the same fate? As the day unfolded, Scrappy found himself pacing near the meadow where Bambi often grazed. His mind raced with 1,000 thoughts, all pulling him in different directions. He needed to do this. He couldn't live with the what-ifs anymore. Finally, he spotted her in the distance, her sleek brown coat shining in the sunlight. She was grazing on the fresh grass near the edge of the clearing, completely unaware of the storm brewing within him. Scrappy's legs felt like jelly, but he pushed forward, each step heavier than the last. "Bambi," he called softly, his voice barely more than a whisper. She looked up, her large, innocent eyes meeting his. A small smile tugged at the corners of her lips, and she nodded in acknowledgement. "Scrappy," she greeted him warmly, her voice like music to his ears. "What's going on? You seem nervous." Scrappy took a deep breath, trying to steady his racing heart. I need to talk to you about something important," he said, his words stumbling over each other. Bambi blinked in surprise, her head tilting slightly. Of course, Scrappy. What's on your mind? He felt a lump in his throat. This was it, the moment he had been dreading and yet hoping for. His voice faltered as he began to speak. Bambi, I've been thinking about this for a long time. I've never felt like this before about anyone, but I can't keep it inside anymore. I love you. The words hung in the air between them, heavy and vulnerable. Scrappy felt his chest tighten, his heart pounding in his ears. For a moment, Bambi didn't say anything. Her eyes softened and a hint of sadness seemed to cloud them. She stepped closer, her gentle steps almost like a whisper against the earth. Scrappy, you're a great friend, she began, her voice trembling. But I don't feel the same way. The words hit him like a blow to the stomach. Scrappy's breath caught in his throat, his heart shattering into pieces. His mind went blank, the world around him suddenly spinning. Bambi took a step back, clearly uncomfortable. She looked down at the ground, her ears drooping. I'm sorry, she whispered. I never wanted to hurt you, but I can't return your feelings. You mean so much to me as a friend, but that's all I can offer you. Scrappy felt as though the forest around him had fallen silent. The birds, the wind, the rustling leaves, everything disappeared. All he could hear was the pounding of his own heart, the overwhelming rush of emotion that flooded his chest. It was a pain unlike anything he had ever felt before. The words, I love you, echoed in his mind, but now they seemed hollow, empty. His stomach churned and he turned away, desperate to hide the tears that were threatening to spill. I understand, Scrappy managed to choke out. His voice was barely a whisper, a faint echo of the hope he had once held. I guess. I was foolish to think. Bambi stepped forward again, her expression filled with regret. Scrappy, please don't think that. You're not foolish. I'm just not the one for you. There's someone out there who will love you the way you deserve. But Scrappy couldn't bear to listen to her anymore. His heart felt too heavy, the weight of her rejection too much to carry. His mind spiraled with dark thoughts, and he could barely hold himself together as he turned and fled into the woods. The pain was unbearable, sharp like a wound that wouldn't heal. He ran without direction, not caring where his feet took him. His heart ached, his mind clouded with the thought of never being enough. It wasn't just the rejection that hurt. It was the crushing realization that, for all his love, he would never be the one to make Bambi's heart race. As Scrappy stumbled deeper into the forest, he found a quiet clearing near the river. The world seemed distant, like it didn't belong to him anymore. The water rushed past, its sound echoing in his ears as he collapsed to his knees on the soft ground. He buried his face in his paws, letting the tears fall freely. For a brief moment, he thought about ending it all. What was the point of living when the one thing he wanted most was beyond his reach? He felt as though the forest itself had turned its back on him. Scrappy closed his eyes, imagining the world without him. It seemed like a peaceful escape from the pain that was tearing him apart. But then, through the haze of his despair, a soft voice called out to him. Scrappy! He looked up, his tear-streaked face meeting the worried gaze of Bambi. She had followed him, her hooves soft against the forest floor, her eyes full of concern and fear. No, Scrappy whispered, turning away. You don't want to see me like this? I'm nothing. I'm not good enough. But Bambi moved closer, her steps slow but steady. She knelt beside him, her presence warm and gentle. Scrappy, you are enough. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. You have a heart that's bigger than anyone I know. Scrappy shook his head, his voice hoarse. I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know how to live with the pain. Bambi gently cupped his face with her hooves, lifting his gaze to meet hers. You don't have to do it alone. I may not love you the way you want, but I care about you. You're my friend, and I'll always be here for you. Her words, so simple yet full of kindness, broke through the dark cloud that had been suffocating him. The pain didn't disappear, but it became a little easier to bear, knowing that someone still cared. He realized that love was not just about romantic feelings. It was about connection, trust, and being there for one another no matter what. Scrappy wiped his tears away, giving her a small, shaky smile. Thank you, Bambi. I don't know what I'd do without you." Bambi smiled back, her eyes full of understanding. "You don't have to worry about that. You'll always have a place in my heart." As the two sat together by the river, Scrappy felt a sense of peace settle over him. It wasn't the peace he had hoped for, but it was enough. The path ahead wouldn't be easy, but with Bambi by his side, he knew he could find the strength to keep going. And perhaps, someday, the heartache would fade, replaced by the realization that life had more to offer than he had ever imagined.